Hello and welcome back to UK NBA episode 19. Episode 19?
19, yeah.
Part 2, where we're featuring our predictions and looking in towards the games, the playoff games.
Yeah.
Obviously starting tomorrow. We've already done the Nets and the Hawks. We're on to my team, the Cavaliers, against the Celtics. Now, our form in recent times against the Celtics has not been great.
No, that's one of the main points we were looking at, is that coming into this, obviously Celtics beat the Cavaliers twice over the final weekend of regular season basketball. But the question is, obviously, how much does that mean? One of them games, the Cavaliers rested all the starters. The other of them games, you don't know how much the Cavaliers were trying compared to how much the Celtics were trying. The Cavaliers won the other two games, by the way. So it's a 2-2 split. So really, how much really do you think that they can take into that Celtics?
Yeah, I think it has a psychological impact, possibly, the fact that those two wins, it's better than losing those two games for me.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, I don't think David Black will be too concerned about losing those two matches because they're kind of irrelevant in a way, in terms of they weren't going to get the Cavaliers anywhere.
No.
The Cavaliers have been nailed on for the playoffs since the turn of this year, to be honest, or ever since the first ball was thrown.
Well, guaranteed second seed at the time.
Exactly. In terms of that, I think maybe it's Stevens, isn't it, the Celtics coach?
Stevens,
Brad Stevens, yeah.
Great coach.
Brad Stevens has got a psychological impact to use as a motivational tool.
Certainly.
But for me, I don't think it'll have too much of a bearing. Although I do think the Celtics will beat us a couple of times over that series, and which is why I think I'm going to go for 4-3.
4-3, yeah.
Yeah, to the Cavaliers, obviously.
Another restricted point you want to look at, obviously one of your favourite players, Isaiah Thomas. Can he be a factor in this playoff series, you think?
Well, I think any time Isaiah Thomas plays in any game is a factor.
Yeah.
Certainly, they'll utilise his experience and know-how coming off the bench, and possibly starting in some games as well. It can definitely be a factor. However, I think we've got too much. I think we've got the likes of Kyrie Irving, the likes of LeBron, obviously, but LeBron's got a few injury problems that we're going to get onto in a minute. That whether he'll be risked for a lot of that series remains to be seen. But I think we do have to play our aces, and without LeBron, we're certainly a lot weaker. But I think we've got enough strength in depth. I've liked the look of Tristan Thompson and Shumpert. I think they've had a good end to the season. So we're looking for the other players like Dylan Dover and Mike Miller to come and step up to the fore as well.
Yeah, play basketball now for them. Also, another point is obviously with LeBron, it's an interesting development, especially there's no more room to play about. It is 7 games, but seriously, you lose one home game.
Exactly, and you're right up against it then, aren't you?
So there's no time for playing about now. LeBron, obviously, early in the season, you saw him trying to involve his teammates too much, not taking over games himself, and that's why they were losing. Yeah,
and he sort of stopped doing that coming up, especially in the game against Miami when he really did grab the ball by the horns. But I think we're going to need to risk him, but maybe don't, not necessarily start him, I don't think, in the first game. I don't think we need to start him. I think if we can bring him off the bench to begin with, and then we can utilise him later on in the game, later on in the series more, keep him fresh and start him maybe in the second or third game.
I think I'd definitely start him. I think he's too good not to start. I think LeBron, he's the type of guy that I think can. I think there will be points in this series where he's going to have to take over. I don't think, obviously without LeBron, the Cavs wouldn't win this series. So I think there will be times.
In terms of his injuries, I mean, he's had quite a few.
Yeah, but I think it's his playoff time. This is where you kind of grit down. A lot of players have admitted, they've missed regular season games, but when it comes to playoffs, they'll play through them small injuries because it's playoff time. And there's no looking back once you get to playoffs. There's no we'll do it next week.
Another game's not around the corner.
Do it next game, So it's all about winning. LeBron knows how to win now. He's done that in Miami 2 times, been to 4 finals. He knows how to win, 5 finals overall. So I think that's going to be a case of LeBron will have to take over in a couple of these games because the Celtics are going to hang about. They know how to hang about. But for me, I think, like you've said 7 games, but for Cleveland to come through. I think they'll do it a little bit quicker than that. I think they can do this in 6 games.
Okay.
I think 4-2 will be the final score for the
I
series.
think it's going to be 3-3, and then the last game will win the last
But I
game.
would love that. I think nobody in basketball loves a Game 7 more than anything else, really. Game 7 is the pinnacle of basketball.
Yeah, it doesn't happen too often.
No, we don't. We get a lot of playoff series, especially early on in the stage, especially first and second rounds.
Yeah,
a lot of just 4-2s.
Exactly, like we're expecting the Hawks to demolish the Nets in pretty quick fashion.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are our predictions. Stick yours at the bottom. And see you for the next one, which is what's the next game?
The Chicago Bulls, Milwaukee. But
yes, stick away for that one. stick the dog.
So yeah, just go on. Go to the next video.